Greetings and Happy New Year 2021. My name is Syntell Smith and we are talking about call numbers again. Hello, it's been a while since I've done one of these videos. As you could see, in the wake of this pandemic, I've grown a bit hairy with my beard. It's hard to get it shaved these days. I kind of look like Oscar Isaac in that weird AI movie where he does the weird dancing. Alright, Call Numbers has 18 chapters, and in this series of videos, I'll be sharing some behind-the-scenes commentary on the process of turning a series of TV scripts into a novel. First, we'll start with the beginning. After the copyright page, this being my very first book, I dedicated it to the four women I hold dear to my heart, from the past and the present. I won't go into details, they know who they are, and I'm very thankful to have met them at certain points in my life. In the acknowledgments, I establish and make clear, while all the locations are real in New York City, my work is completely fictional. All the names and characters are products in my mind, with the events not reflecting on what goes on in New York City libraries in real life. So once again, do not sue me. In 2019, the first edition paperback of Call Numbers was received with some criticism by those who were unfamiliar with the technical terms used by the staff. I've mentioned that in earlier videos, a patron, a call number, titles like IA or a page. There were also complaints that the book had too many characters to keep track of, with 13 main characters. Something I failed to get considering Game of Thrones has plenty more than that. So, a year ago in 2020, I can't believe I'm saying that now, when I came out with the second edition, I added a character index and a glossary of library terms with their meanings. This helped the reading experience a whole lot better for more people that were able to follow the story. When I pitched the concept of the story as a TV series with my treatment, I had a complete pilot script along with 3 scripts already for a 13-episode first season. I originally took the pilot script and turned it into a novella, which was fun, with the title Robin Walker's First Day, which is now the actual chapter title of Chapter 1. Making the transition to a novel, I struggled with several opening scenes, doing different narratives and point of views. At one point, I wanted Robin to be the narrator, telling the story from his eyes. Then I had an opening scene that had Zelda meeting Barbara Szymanski as they discussed Robin's transfer. But that kind of felt like the beginning of the Harry Potter series. You know, with McGonagall and Dumbledore delivering the baby to his in-laws and all that stuff. So I scrapped it. The pilot's very first scene took place on Robin's last day at Fort Washington. Him making his goodbyes to the staff and having one last talk with his senior clerk, Teresa Verns. That scene of his last day, I still plan to use in a later book as a flashback. After suffering a bit of a setback in which 30 pages of work was lost, I started all over again with an opening with Robin eating at a pizza place. The very first paragraph really sets the scene for where our story begins, mentioning the Long Island shooting, Rudy Giuliani becoming mayor, and the first attack on the World Trade Center says it all. New York City, 1994. A lot of my beta readers were confused at first, believing that September 11th, 2001 was the only time there was a terrorist incident with the World Trade Center. Oh, how easily they forget. There was actually a previous attack. So in this first scene, we're introducing Robin as an intelligent college student talking politics, being very opinionated. We're establishing his character early. Then the chapter jumps around with these other introductions, from Robin on the train to the staff at the library. This type of jumping around storytelling was kind of inspired by the TV show The West Wing. How everyone was introduced within the first 10 minutes of the first episode, going from Rob Lowe, CJ, Toby, and everybody else. Some readers felt overwhelmed by the changes, but that's the story. It's not all about Robin. It's an ensemble piece that just happens to be built around him. As the anticipation of Robin's arrival spreads upon the staff, there's another issue they have to address. Robin's typo on his record leads everyone to believe he's a woman. This running gag is based on my own personal experiences. I have a unisex first name, which I'm not going to tell. And while I was working at the library, I had an actual Mrs. in front of my name due to a clerical error, and it was never fixed. And all the time I worked at the library, I was always known as Mrs. So-and-so, until they actually saw me. Of all the introduction scenes, two stand out as my favorite: Angie Trueblood's and Jerry Coltrane's. It's no secret when you work with the public, you run into those type of individuals who feel that the customer is always right. And it's everyone's dream to put someone in check when they get snippy with you. So this first chapter reveals the conflicts building in the workplace, along with the most characters, ending with Robin's arrival, surprising everyone. In the next chapter, we'll explore the reactions to Robin from the staff and how he interacts with them. I like to end each video with a reading of my favorite passage from each chapter. In chapter 1, like I said earlier, my very favorite scene would be the introductory scene of Angie Trueblood, an information assistant, a Native American, who I guess to certain patrons doesn't fit their ideal description of a librarian. So naturally she had to put someone in check. Here we go. Centered in the middle of the branch on the main floor was the information desk. An executive in a three-piece business suit was waiting near the vacant chair when a young Native American woman emerged from behind and approached the gentleman. "May I help you, sir?" she asked. Startled, the man took one look up and down at her. "Oh, no thanks. Just waiting for the librarian to return and help me find a book." He then turned away from her. The young lady adjusted her gold wire glasses, then walked a lap around several bookshelves, and then took a seat behind the information desk. She looked up at the man, registered a puzzled look. "May I help you now, sir?" Angie Trueblood asked sarcastically, with a smile. You work here?" he asked, flabbergasted. "Yes, I am an information assistant," she informed him. "I'm earning my master's, so in 2 years I'll be a librarian, sir. We've come a long way from the reservation, you know." Angie was 5'5" with long black hair and could easily pass for 20, but was actually in her early 30s. She wore a fringe waistcoat over a gray blouse and jeans. She had one beaded necklace around her neck and a beaded headband in the colors of the Oneida. The library had a business casual dress code, and Augustus overlooked Angie applying cultural touches in her appearance. The patron straightened up after being checked and cleared his throat. I was wondering if you had a copy of Time of War by Michael Peterson. Rather than antagonize the patron further, Angie typed the title in the digital catalog on the desk computer terminal. She examined several titles while searching, and the gentleman remarked, In my defense, you don't really look like a librarian. Angie's fingers paused on the keyboard. Were you expecting some old biddy with wire eyeglasses wearing a blue knitted sweater and her hair in a bun? The man blinked hard in surprise by the question. Yeah, I guess. She turned from the monitor, stood up, and looked at him, face to face, studied him for a moment. If I may ask, sir, what do you do for a living? I am a CEO for an advertising firm, he replied smugly. A smile crept across Angie's face as she prepared to put the executive in his place. Has anyone ever mistook you for a stockbroker or an FBI agent? Or the President of the United States, Mr. White Man in a suit and tie? No, of course not, he stammered. Well, why not? They all wear nice designer suits like the one you're wearing. You should get mistaken for one of those types of people all the time. The patron was beyond embarrassed and turned pale. But you know why that doesn't happen, sir? She asked. The man shook his head to answer her question. Because intelligent people don't make judgments based on appearances anymore. I may not look like the poster child for reading is fundamental, but I can quote William Shakespeare and tell the difference between Richard North Patterson and James Patterson like the rest of them. I would think someone dressed like yourself would be smart enough to see beyond appearances, but I guess that would be my misjudgment. She let the man take that profound statement all in for a moment, then sat down and returned her gaze back to the computer screen. With that said, I'm afraid we do not have that book in stock at the moment. There are copies available in several other branches nearby. If you like, we could reserve the book and have it sent here. The man interrupted. That's all right. I apologize for my disbelief, my presumptions, and other things I can't think of right now. He took a handkerchief out of his pocket and dried the sweat off from his brow. I'll find the book elsewhere. Thank you very much for your help. Angie grinned to herself for a few moments, feeling a sense of satisfaction, then rose to fix some of the periodicals in the reference corner. A tall woman wearing a winter coat over a gray blouse and matching skirt walked over to the vacant desk, and Angie greeted her. May I help you? The woman waved her away with a slight glance and replied, No, just waiting for the librarian. See what people go through dealing with snobby patrons like that. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and follow me on the social medias. Keep watching for more videos. Peace is the mission for 2021.